Part 12. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 113. The strong wind that originally hit Hinata Hikari instantly flew back with sparks. The Union Village Elementary School student who used the wind release ninjutsu didn't even have time to react before he was swallowed up by the whirlwind of burning flames. It's so hot, help me, Mom. The student was seen rushing out of the flames, his clothes and hair set on fire. Fire defeats wind. Facing D-level wind escape, only a small amount of sea-level fire escape can have a counter-killing effect. The way he was on fire and running around in a funny way made Hikari giggle non-stop. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen had a dark look on his face. Finally, the student dove into the pool in front of the teaching building to save himself from continuing to burn. Looking at the moves, several more ninja students from Union Village rushed towards Hinata Hikaru from 4 directions. Facing the crowd siege, Hinata's body suddenly dwarfed, and his right leg swept down on the ground. Konoha Gale. 4 students were kicked in the legs. Everyone lost their balance and flew into the air. Finally, they fell to the ground. Use linked ninjutsu. Someone shouted again. I saw 2 students who looked almost exactly the same, standing next to each other and starting to form seals. It turned out that they were 2 twins. Wind escapes wind cut. Water escapes water teeth. A wind blade as thin as a cicada's wing came out of his hand and struck towards Hinata Hikari. If it hit Hinata this time, at least a larger wound would appear. What's even more frightening is that a stream of water is wrapped in the wind blade, which once again enhances the sharpness of the technique. It looks like a high-pressure water blade. The twins looked at the ninjutsu released by their brothers and smiled very proudly. The superposition of 2D level ninjutsu is not simply 1 + 1 = 2. The power of this combined ninjutsu even surpasses other ninjutsu at the same level. Hey, the ninjutsu is quite new. Hinata Hikari looked at this ninjutsu without any nervousness, seeming to observe something interesting. The next moment, the pair of crystal clear eyes suddenly flashed, and veins popped out around the eye sockets. The blood inheritance limit of the Hyuga clan, the Byakugan, was directly opened. Because of the effect of the Byakugan, the chakra collection structure of ninjutsu can be seen without any hindrance. Hinata took a deep breath, her slender waist sank slightly, she stretched out her left hand, and hugged her right hand, not into a fist, but into a palm. It is the starting position of Bagwazang, the soft fist technique of the Hyuga clan. The next moment, the daylight suddenly popped up. Bagwa 2 palms, Bagwa 4 palms, Bagwa 8 palms. 3 consecutive high-speed combos hit the Feng Shui dual attribute ninjutsu with fingertips. This is a high-speed combo that can only be performed by the Hyuga clan ninjas whose attack speeds are astonishing. The 3 shots took place in the blink of an eye. In the eyes of everyone who couldn't believe it, the ninjutsu released by the twin brothers was shattered. Bakana. How can that be? The 2 brothers screamed, looking like they had seen a ghost. The ninjutsu they released was exploded by Hinata Hikari's fingers like rubbish. Gaga, there is nothing impossible for this leader, powerful prelude. Hinata's figure turned into an after-image. When she got close to the twin brothers, she jumped up with her legs parallel to the ground. Only one sound was heard. The 2 brothers were kicked in the head, and their 2 bodies were like spinning tops, hitting the crowd directly. Konoha fluid technique is really powerful. The 2 brothers groaned and tilted their heads. Before he fell into coma, he didn't forget to add drama to himself. On the actor's self-cultivation. The corners of the mouths of the 4 senior members of Konoha twitched. Konoha fluid technique does exist. Whether it is the D-level Konoha whirlwind or the D-level Konoha gale, they are both recorded taijutsu moves, and their inventor was the second Hokage Senju Tobirama. But what the hell is the dynamic prelude? The second generation Hokage Senju Tobirama will definitely cry. This taijutsu was definitely not invented by Tobirama-sama. It's mat day. It's mat day. A ninja teacher shouted. Only the genin taijutsu madman who has been shouting youth and hot blood all day long can invent a taijutsu with such a name. Is Matt wearing it? Well, it's really a headache. The Sandaime Hokage pressed the Hokage hat on his head and sighed helplessly. Quack. In the field, Hinata Hikaru's weird smile kept ringing. For some people, one should keep a low profile and bide one's time in order to live a long life. But for Hinata Hikari, there are always unscrupulous people who want to harm her. She wants to keep a low profile, but others don't allow her. In that case, I had no choice but to be high profile. Skills do not overwhelm. Hinata Hikari, who has so many tricks that are scary, has plenty of ways to deal with them. Sweep. No one is Hinata Hikari's opponent. Whether it's one person, two people, or a group of people, it doesn't make any difference to Hinata Hikari. After a brief period of fever, they calmed down and began to return to the crowd. But more people walked back with bruises and swollen faces. There is no one who can fight. Hinata waved her sleeves nervously and mocked. If everyone thought Hinata was too arrogant at first, then everyone fell silent when they saw the scene in front of them. No matter whether you are a boy or a girl, there is no single enemy in front of Hinata Hikaru. That weird smile and tyrannical strength will surely become a lingering shadow for many people in their lives. What a great little guy. A trace of surprise flashed in Sarutobi Hiruzan's eyes. The contempt in Danzo Shimura's eyes turned into shock in Akaguakyo's eyes. A few years ago, this mentally ill, finished child of the Hyuga branch who he considered a waste and unworthy of attention could actually grow to this point. At this point, there are only 5 people in the field who can still fight. One of them is the second Akumi. You two Akumi, let's join forces together, otherwise we will both lose. The other 4 glanced at Akumi, hoping that Akumi, who had been motionless, would join them in taking action. However, the 2 Akumi just glanced at them lazily. This glance made it clear what she meant. The 4 people withdrew their eyes as if they were electrocuted. In desperation, they could only grit their teeth and use the strength of the 4 to attack Hinata. You usually make a lot of noise when you despise me and call me a monster. But now you want to pretend to unite with me and let me dream about the enemy together. The 2 Akumi stood motionless and murmured in a low voice. She will never join forces with others. Because she has been fighting alone. The battle continues. What responded to the 4 people was not only Hinata Hikari's weird smile, but also his overwhelming strength. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 115. Call Out. Blue flames spit out from the mouth of the second Akumi. The flame was not big, not much bigger than a child's head. At a glance, you can vaguely see a dark blue mouse shape wrapped in a ball of sky blue chakra. The chakra mouse, burning with flames, suddenly accelerated and flew towards Hikari in the air. It's 2 Akumi's rat tail ball Dama. That Hinata Hikari will definitely lose. When the ninja leader of Union Village saw this scene, he grinned with a successful sneer. Blast it! On the Konoha side, the elementary school students were shouting and cheering for Hinata Hikaru in the audience. How about such a small flame, just for fun? However, the next moment, a sudden change occurred. Call out. The rat tail ball jade shook, suddenly collapsed, and fell apart. When everyone was surprised, the flame of separation changed. In an instant, a ball of flames counting 10 was born from the collapsed rat tail ball jade. Then, it spread like scattered flowers and attacked Hinata Hikaru at the same time. Nani! Everyone opened their eyes wide and looked at this strange scene. A total of 10 flame clusters drew different flight arcs in the air and rushed towards Hinata. This thrilling scene exceeded everyone's expectations. Faced with this exaggerated attack method, how should Hinata deal with it? Use the technique of gold binding? No, the golden binding technique can only bind physical ninja tools. The rat tail ball jade is obviously a collection of chakra, and the golden binding technique will not work. Dozawa and others were even ready to save Hinata Hikari. When he saw the 10 rat tail ball jade flying in different arcs from the sky, Hinata Hikari laughed strangely. With a flick of her arm, she threw a shuriken. Ninja. Sunlight seal. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes widened suddenly. That technique is not mine. Shuriken shadow clone technique. Boo. 1224488161632. A total of 32 shurikens flew out. Ninja Shuriken shadow cloning art. The third generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, known as the Ninja Professor, combined it based on the multiple shadow clone technique created by the second generation Hokage Senju Tobirama. The caster can turn a small amount of shuriken into a massive rain of shuriken. This is a super high level technique that belongs to the level of secrets and forbidden techniques. This. Sarutobi Ryo was stunned. He just taught Hinata Hikaru this ninjutsu. How could she be used in actual combat so quickly? And can you change 32 pieces at once? Is this Hinata's chakra infinite? Oh well. Sarutobi Ryo's mouth is so wide that he can stuff an egg in it. Call. Namikaze Minato breathed a sigh of relief, turning from worry to happiness. Lord Hokage's promise actually came in handy. However, Ryo Sarutobi also contributed greatly to this operation. Boom boom boom. After that, these 32 shurikens met the two Akumi's rat tail balls, and a series of moderate explosions occurred. The rat tail balls of the two Akumi were all destroyed. No matter how many rat tail balls she has, can she still have more shurikens than Hinata Hikari? What? The two Akumi's eyes suddenly opened wide, obviously they did not expect this to happen. That confident face turned into shock in an instant, as if he had seen some fire-breathing monster. The move she learned after becoming a Jinhyuriki, the rat tail ball dama, which can even explode rocks, was actually. Did this weird shuriken ninjutsu explode? Even the tracking function didn't have time to perform, and it just left the market sadly. Yes, rat tail ball dama has the ability to track. But unfortunately, in the face of the overwhelming rain of shurikens, the tracking ability is of no use. And the next moment. Boo! The extra shuriken that was not affected by the explosion broke through the smoke and suddenly flew towards the two Akumi. Cut. The second Akumi did a few backflips and dodged the shuriken, stabbing her, as dexterously as a cat. Bang bang bang. It seemed that the duration was up, and the shuriken separated by Hinata's light turned into a burst of white mist and disappeared in the air. Quack, it's my turn. Fire escaped the art of powerful flames. Hinata Hikaru was laughing strangely. She seemed excited. There was no way, Hinata Hikari had been suppressed for too long. There was no punching bag for her to release her emotions. Amidst the strange laughter, the seals were formed at high speed, so fast that the two Akumi didn't even have time to see clearly. 6 seals per second, are you afraid? When Hinata Hikari reached the last seal, she stared at the two Akumi with a playful look. Not good. The next moment, a violent burst of flames spurted out from in front of Hinata's mouth. The hot flames trembled and distorted the air, and billowing heat waves surged in. The two Akumi were horrified by Hinata's endurance. She was actually able to use sea-level ninjutsu so many times. However, facing the oncoming Hao-Yan, the most important thing at the moment is obviously to avoid the pest. Substitute. Thinking that they had reserved a piece of wood as a substitute, the two Akumi couldn't help but feel reassured. The human figure burned by the flames instantly turned into a puff of smoke, leaving only a piece of charred wood. The next moment, the two Akumi appeared behind Hinata Hikaru. Although Hinata Hikari has Byakugan and can see through 360 degrees of her surroundings, she at least has a turning speed. His speed is much stronger than Roy's. By the time Hinata Hikari turned around, the battle was over. Rub. Sharp nails or claws are more suitable. It stretched out from the hands of the two Akumi. It was ferocious and flashed with cold light. The two Akumi raised his claws and clawed hard at the back of Hinata Hikari's neck. If this blow had hit, Hinata Hikaru would have been severely injured on the spot. 1. Just when the two Akumi thought they were about to win, something strange happened again. Boom. The light on the surface of Hinata's body shook. A red shadow. Scarlet shadow. This phantom suddenly appeared, and actually came out of the body halfway, and struck with a punch. The two Akumi can no longer understand how there is half a person growing behind Hinata Hikari's head. She looked at the red fist coming towards her and thought for a moment whether to attack. Out of caution, the two Akumi decided to retreat. With the help of their inhumanly agile body movements, the two Akumi suddenly twisted their bodies, spun around in the air several times, did another backflip, and landed firmly on the ground. It's like a wildcat that was thrown from a high place to the ground, but still landed firmly on all fours. Hyuga is strong. But she is not a weakling. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 116. Quack, come again. Hinata laughed strangely, turned around and punched the two Akumi. But the red phantom that popped up halfway out just retracted itself. Feeling the terrifying power contained in that small fist, the two Akumi subconsciously moved towards Jiswai. In the process, he took out 2 stacks of shurikens from his ninja tool bag and threw them at Hinata Hikari, straight in front of him. Hinata's punch was empty, but he didn't show any frustration. He stepped on his right foot and continued to chase forward. Facing the incoming shuriken, Hinata just laughed strangely. Gaga. Next is the ninja technique, golden binding technique. Following the Hyuga light seal, the shuriken that came through the air suddenly froze in the air and could no longer take a step forward. He casually pushed away the shuriken in front of him, and Hinata's strangely smiling face quickly enlarged in front of the two Akumi's eyes. The two Akumi were shocked inwardly and were shocked by Hinata Hikari's incredible methods. But what she is really good at is close combat. The second Akumi thought to herself that her physical skills would never be inferior to the little psycho in front of her. So, facing Hinata Hikari's palm, the two Akumi took out the kunao with their backhand and gave it a fierce stroke. No matter how powerful Hinata Hikari's palm technique is, it's impossible to resist physically. In fact, there is no need to resist the sunlight at all. Quack. The murderous intention fluctuates. Boom. The originally white and slender palm suddenly pulsed with red flame-like chakra. Scarlet light began to bloom. Bang. Click. The two Akumi felt an incredible force coming from the handle in their hands. Then the kunao was smashed to pieces by Hinata Hikari's palm. This. The two Akumi's eyes widened and they were a little dazed for a moment. Everyone looked at the scene in front of them with disbelief on their faces. This Hinata Hikari actually unilaterally suppressed the two-tailed Jinhyuriki and beat him up? How is this possible? Jiraiya couldn't help lowering his head and asked the disciple Namikaze Minato beside him. Minato, is Hinata Hikaru always so good when you are sparring with her? Jiraiya expressed shock at the strength Hinata showed. Even if he, Orochimaru, and Tsunade have been observing Hinata's actions in the dark, they have never discovered that Hinata is so strong these days. No, Jiraiya-sensei. Namikaze Minato shook his head. Hikari Hinata-san usually clicks until the end. He doesn't use all his strength because he has been suppressed for too long. This time he met a suitable target, so naturally, he was prepared to beat the other party as a sandbag. After Jiraiya glanced at Hinata Hikaru in the field, he continued to ask, who is stronger between you and Hinata Hikaru now? Of course Hinata Hikari-san. Namikaze Minato smiled and looked at the field without blinking. Jiraiya. Jiraiya was doubtful about this result, but at the same time he was a little frustrated. Can Minato admit this so straightforwardly? Could it be that Hinata's talent is still higher than Minato's? Think about it, this Hinata Hikari is so scary without anyone to teach her. If only I had another excellent master. Still not allowed to go to heaven? I'm afraid that no matter what he thought, Jiraiya could never imagine that Hinata Hikari would live another life. Hinata just repracticed what he had learned in his previous life and showed it again. This time, I saw Hinata laughing wildly while forming seals with his hands. This time, it was water escape. I saw a water ball spit out suddenly and hit the two Akumi. The two Akumi dodged one after another, and their physical strength also dropped a bit. This time, her dodge looked more awkward. And because the flying range of Taipao Jade is further than that of Hao Yan Jutsu, it can even reach the ultimate distance of more than 10 meters. The high-speed flying water ball was dodged. The consequence of this was that the water ball immediately flew into the crowd of spectators and blew up a cloud of Union Village primary school students. Wow wow wow. The primary school students in Union Village were sent up to the sky with howls and cries. Others had dark faces. Fortunately, the power of the water release Iron Pao Jade was shared when it hit the crowd, so everyone was only bruised and swollen by the water ball. Only. On purpose. She did it on purpose. The ninja leader of Hidden Cloud Village was so angry that his nose was crooked. This little psycho is clearly seeking revenge. Gah, I'm sorry, if you two Akumi don't hide, it will be fine. Hinata scratched the back of his head and smiled strangely, without any trace of embarrassment. More importantly, she is so shameless. He actually put the responsibility on the two Akumi. It'll be fine as long as you don't hide. Quack. Killing intent waves and collapses in the palm. Hinata Hikaru turned around and slapped the two Akumi who attacked her. The two Akumi's sneak attack failed and they suddenly swept back. This time, however, her evasive strategy failed. Boom. The air exploded, and Hinata's palm exploded directly in the air. Is that Bagua Kongjang? Someone exclaimed. No, it's still the Arhat Fist. Namikaze Minato explained, the collapse palm is a long-range attack move in the Arhat Fist. Woo! The two Akumi groaned in pain and were completely hit. Under everyone's surprised gazes, the two Akumi rolled to the ground in embarrassment. As for Hinata, it was only at this time that she slowly put away her palms. She still has a few tricks up her sleeve. Quack, you fell down before I even exerted any force. At this moment, Hinata actually looked a little regretful, as if she hadn't had all the fun yet. Both Tomo and Bakuna, Akumi, were actually hit by her. The ninja leader of Union Village looked horrified. Theoretically, this is impossible. The two-tailed Jinchuriki has always been good at speed, so it's impossible to hit him. Who is this Sunlight? Is she really just a branch of the family? If a branch family is so strong, how powerful should the clan family be? This time, under the orders of Reikage-sama, he led the ninja students to come to play. The purpose is not just to test the strength of Konoha's younger generation. The ninja students are actually a microcosm of the entire village. If there were more monsters like Hinata Hikaru among the 6 ninjas in Konoha, then in the next war, the layout of Konoha will change. I am afraid that even Hinata Hikaru would not have thought that her actions might actually affect the future direction of the Second Ninja War. At the moment, she just wants to do her best. The second Akumi wiped the corners of her mouth and lowered her head so that no one could see her expression. By the time she raised her head, some changes had already appeared on her body. Very good, that's why it's worth being defeated by me. With a fanatical look on his face, the pupils of the two Akumi suddenly changed. Airway's unique golden eyes appeared in her eyes. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 117. Hinata Hikaru looked at the two Akumi with interest. One golden pupil, one green pupil. Are you wearing contact lenses? Or has the evil king's true eye awakened? Except. The two Akumi who was half crouching on the ground suddenly jumped up. This time, using all four limbs together, he pounced on Hinata like a wildcat. Hinata struck out with one palm without dodging. Killing intention fluctuation collapsing palm. The red light exploded and was about to hit. However, the two Akumi in mid-air made incredible dodge movements. Her body spun half a circle in the air, avoiding Hinata's mid-air blow. With the rapid landing, the sharp claws in his hands hit the back of Hinata Hikari's neck. Hinata Hikaru chuckled, turned around and punched. However, this was just a false shot by the two Akumi. After falling, she touched the ground with her toes, retracted her claws, and with the help of elasticity, she spun around again and pounced on Hinata Hikari's other side. This set of movements was so smooth that everyone was dumbfounded. Faintly, it actually exceeded Hinata's counter-attack speed. Alas! Hinata clearly noticed this. Soon, she fell into passive defense. The two Akumi were wandering around, moving at high speed, specifically targeting behind Hinata Hikari. Hinata Hikaru narrowly avoided it every time. With the help of the power of the two tails, the physical buff of the two Akumi was directly added, and the speed soared to more than double the original. From this moment on, the situation became dangerous. The two people's offense and defense were so impressive that everyone didn't dare to show off. But in just 10 seconds, the two sides had already attacked and defended dozens of times. It would be fair to say that the two Akumi didn't look tired at all. Then there is something wrong with Hinata Hikaru, who becomes more and more courageous as he fights. Even the two-tailed Jinchuriki in this state could not make Hinata show his weakness. On the contrary, Hikari's attacks were getting faster and faster, and he was actually able to keep up with the speed of the two Akumi. The students and ninja teachers in the audience stared at the scene in stunned silence. Hinata's true strength, or the strength shown at this moment, completely exceeded everyone's expectations. The ninja leader of Union Village even widened his eyes. I originally thought that this little psycho would be killed naturally by the two Akumi. But, not only did this little psycho persevere, but he also became stronger in this battle. He realized this, and Sarutobi Hiruzen and others naturally also realized it. Obviously, they found that both the sharpness of Hinata's moves and the speed of his attacks had significantly increased compared to the beginning. In other words, it was because of the relationship between the two Akumi that Hinata's potential was inspired. But in fact it is. Hyuga has always been strong. It's just that she hasn't been able to meet a suitable opponent for her to fully display her strength. The opponent is a scumbag, and his skills are naturally slow. When encountering a suitable opponent, the sluggish body begins to activate and return to its best condition. That is. Gaga, now is the complete body of this leader. Hinata smiled strangely, her control over her body now reached the point where she could command her like an arm. It was as if Geu had been paralyzed all summer and was finally able to move his muscles on the first day of school. The chakra in the body circulates at a high speed, and the sleeping cells are activated one after another. At this moment, the wave of murderous intent penetrated every part of the body. The two men performed a series of dazzling attacks and defenses, and everyone was dazzled by them. All the elementary school students only know now that Hinata is very strong, and really strong, so strong that he can kill them instantly. Muta muta muta. Hearing Hinata Hikari's taunt, coupled with her formidable strength, the two Akumi, who had been unable to attack for a long time, gritted his teeth and decided to hold back no longer. Drink ah ah ah. The aura of the two Akumi began to rise. The braids on the back of his head even shot up to the sky. Pebbles and soil on the ground rose up one after another, killing a certain gravity scientist. Red chakra began to appear on the surface of the two Akumi's bodies. A characteristic unique to the Jinchuriki. The half-tailed beast transformation skill called tailed beast clothes begins to appear. That is tail suit. The four top executives, including Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo, suddenly opened their eyes wide, and their aura changed. It seemed that they would take action immediately if the situation changed. If a Jinchuriki goes berserk, it's no small matter. But there was no tail appearing behind the two Akumi. After realizing this, the aura that had just erupted on the four senior executives immediately disappeared without a trace. Come fast, go fast. No one else noticed that momentary change, but the ninja leader of Union Village did. Is this the strength of a shadow-level powerhouse? By the time he started panting, sweat had soaked his back. Sarutobi Hiruzen and others can kill him instantly if they even think about it. He shook his head and threw the thought out of his mind. Then, he looked towards the field. The second Akumi did not explode her tail, which shows that she only borrowed part of the chakra of the second-tailed Nikomata, but did not achieve the perfect control state to be able to have a tail. The second Akumi is not a perfect Jinchuriki, so she is still unable to freely control the two tails. Her limit is the initial state of being covered by the tail beast suit. But since this move was used, it meant that the outcome was decided. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes were a little complicated. Next to him, Shimura Danzo keenly observed the expression of his old classmate. The Hiruzen matter should also be put on the agenda, Shimura Danzo said calmly with half-squinted eyes. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent for a moment. That matter refers to bringing the next container, Uzumaki Kushina, from Uzushiogakure village to Konoha to replace the aging Uzumaki Mito and become the new Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Turning to bed, Koharu and Mitomonon looked at each other and nodded. After that, the two of them looked at the Sandaime Hokage. The two-tailed Jinchuriki of Hidden Cloud Village showed great talent, and Konoha had to be prepared. The tailed beasts, and the Jinchuriki who drive the tailed beasts, are important chips that balance the national power of various countries. The four senior executives have discussed this matter many times before, but no consensus has been reached. Today, the performance of the second Jinchuriki of Cloud Hidden Village made the four of them know that this matter cannot continue to be dragged out. I will arrange manpower. Sarutobi Hiruzen whispered. At this point, the matter of Uzumaki Kushina being brought to Konoha was finalized. In the field, Hinata Hikaru was leisurely waiting for the transformation of the two Akumi to be completed. Just like the boss in Dragon Ball will wait for Kakarot to turn into Super Saiga. This is the setting of the cartoon. As an anime lover, Hinata Hikari respects this transformation process. It wasn't until the rising pebbles began to fall that Hinata Hikari spoke. Gaga, are you ready? Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 118. The violent chakras surged around the two Akumi, which was frightening. The bubbles coming out of Gilu are not bubbles, but the chakra belonging to the tailed beast. This layer of chakra was like a flame-like coat, covering the surface of her body. The Jinchuriki borrows the power of the tailed beasts and undergoes different stages of transformation. The first stage is the changes in the pupils and parts of the body. For example, before, the second Akumi had the same heterochromatic eyes as the two-tailed Nikomata, and her claws also became longer. In this state, the strength, speed, and amount of chakra will be greatly increased. Second stage. Just like now, covered in chakra coat. And with the sound of the two Akumi's voices, chakra flowed throughout the body. Like a fired cannonball, it hit Hinata Hikaru. Facing the two Akumi's extremely primitive attacks, Hinata Hikari raised the corners of her mouth, showing no fear at all, but a hint of excitement. Killing intent fluctuation. Hinata Hikari raised his right hand and punched out. In the past 6 months of her life, almost no one could stand up to her. Hinata Hikaru has been bored for too long. It takes so long that the body becomes sluggish. Until the appearance of the two Akumi made her blood burn again. Now, Hinata Hikaru can finally use his full strength. Rock attack. The mediocre punch was obviously inferior to the light and shadow stunts of the two Akumi covered with tailed beast buffs. It seemed impossible to fight against the two Akumi in this state. However, when her fist collided with the claws of the second Akumi, a ball of red light suddenly bloomed on her white little fist like the rising sun. The air exploded, and a circle of ripples suddenly erupted with the place where the two collided as the center. In an instant, the fluctuations of murderous intent and the chakra of the tail beast clothing were mixed and intertwined, making it impossible to tell which ones belonged to the former and which belonged to the latter. The terrifying roar made the eardrums of onlookers ring. Everyone looked at the fight between the two with inexplicable expressions of horror. Can actually block it? A hint of surprise flashed in the eyes of the two Akumi. In this state, let alone a human being, even those huge creatures such as giant snakes and bears would be knocked away by her claws. However, this daylight was completely blocked. Then her fighting spirit burned again. Yes, this is the best, only then can you be qualified to be her opponent. Being able to withstand a hit is impressive. But then... drink. The two Akumi let out another chingja, and the chakra in the body surged rapidly, and the bubbling sounds continued to sound. From the gap in the seal, the two-tailed Nekomatus chakra leaked out at a faster speed, and then passed to the body. Everywhere. Rock attack is the most powerful attack in Luhan Quan. Namikaze Minato murmured. Hikaru Hinata-san used this move, which means that the opponent is someone who even she needs to go all out for. Hinata-syo could no longer hear what Namikaze Minato was saying. This scene is too shocking. Whether it was a Jinhyuriki he had never seen before, or a Hyuga Hikaru who could compete with a Jinhyuriki, they all shocked him greatly. That was a realm he was completely unaware of. The door to a new world is already opening for him. The commotion caused by the fighting here attracted more and more Konoha ninjas. They rushed here one after another, wanting to see what the explosion was, which was no less than the roar of the detonating talisman. Soon, people from the police department also appeared here. A dozen members of the Uchiha police department, led by the elite Shuyunin Uchiha Takano, stared at the scene blankly. They see. Hinata Hikaru is fighting against the second-tailed Jinchuriki. At this time, Hinata Hikaru and the two Akumi, who had once again increased their strength, fought together again. The two Akumi seemed to have given up on evading, and even no longer used sneak attacks. She directly relied on her tailed beast chakra to launch a fierce frontal attack on Hinata Hikari. Their fists collided. Hinata only felt that what he was hitting was not a human sandbag, but a piece of metal with extremely high density. There is no doubt that in this state, the defensive power of the two Akumi is so strong that it is almost abnormal. The defense of this tail beast suit allows her to ignore most attacks. Feeling this situation, Hinata became more and more excited. Because doesn't this mean that the other party is a qualified punching bag? During this confrontation, the two of them fell backwards at the same time. The power of the tailed beast versus the fluctuation of murderous intent, no one can take advantage of it for the time being. The wave of killing intent collapses the palm. Hinata rushed forward suddenly and struck out with the palm. The red light bloomed and directly hit the two Akumi several meters away from the air. The two Akumi staggered after being beaten, but did not suffer any damage, but there was a trace of a flaw. That is in fighting games. Seeing the situation, Hinata Hikaru rushed forward quickly and crashed into his opponent. Killing intent fluctuates shoulders. An iron mountain hit directly knocked the two Akumi away. Not finished. The wave of killing intent rises to the knees. Hinata sprinted, leaped high into the sky, and the blooming red light hit the two Akumi floating in the air. With a muffled sound, the two Akumi flew towards the sky. But the tailed beast clothes bring not only enhanced defense but also quality. The so-called tailed beast's chakra is actually special chakra with extremely high density. This state of chakra covering the whole body caused the weight of the two Akumi to change. She becomes heavier and harder to knock off. After rising less than 1 meter, the figures of the two Akumi froze and began to fall. However, this is exactly what Hinata Hikaru wanted. The wave of killing intent rises and high-fives. Hinata's right hand turned into a claw, and he suddenly struck a palm towards the top of his head. The two Akumi were hit again. Hateful. Being hit repeatedly made the two Akumi a little angry. She turned, trying to resist. However, she forgot that she was not a perfect Jinhyuriki and could not freely control this heavy chakra. Although her strength and defense have increased, her speed has not changed at all. Even some decline. The two-tailed cat has a gentle personality and is the easiest to control among the many-tailed beasts. Some aspects are easy, but taking shortcuts means that some aspects will definitely be difficult. So, the Hyuga light still hit her. A terrible explosion was heard, and Hinata hit the two Akumi above her head. Come back again. Hinata Hikaru grabbed his opponent and slammed him towards the ground. The wave of killing intent presses the palm. The killing intent wave erupted, and the extremely powerful force directly pushed the two Akumi to the ground. Spiderweb-like cracks spread in all directions, and the two Akumi were forced into the ground. After a series of combos, Hikaru almost held the two Akumi in a fight. Everyone watching this dizzying scene was dumbfounded. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 119. But how is this possible? All the insiders who watched the scene looked at each other in shock. No one believes this kind of thing. Hinata Hikaru lifted up the second-tailed Jinchuriki of Kyomagakure village and beat him. It was only then that they realized how powerful Hinata Hikari was. How low-key she is usually. Those who laughed at Hinata Hikari for talking about being low-key all day long were so ashamed that they wanted to find a place to hide in. It turns out that it was not Hinata Hikari who was slapped in the face, but them. If anything, there were still people who were dissatisfied because Hinata Hikari won first place in the class test. So now everyone feels that Hinata Hikaru deserves the title of the strongest ninja student in school. The people in Union Village were even more shocked. They know the strength of the two Akumi best. It stands to reason that when the two Akumi are in tailed beast clothes state, they will instantly kill their peers when they see them. But who knew she would meet Hinata Hikari, who was even stronger than her? They couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. Are all elementary school students in Konoha monsters? In the field, the one who doubted life the most should belong to the two Akumi. She has never suffered at the hands of her peers. Today, the car actually overturned. But even so, she did not lose. That's right. Although Hikaru Hinata's physical skills were superior to hers, she couldn't break through the defense against the tailed beast suit. Well, it's time to decide the winner. At this moment, she heard Hinata Hikaru's nervous whisper in her ears. What? The two Akumi's eyes widened. Doesn't she have a hidden trump card? Correct. The two Akumi suddenly thought that the Hinata Hikaru had not been using the techniques of the Hyuga clan. So, is she ready to use soft fist? If that were the case, it would be ridiculous. The essence of soft fist is to inject chakra into the human body. And under the protection of the tail beast clothing, he is not afraid of the attack of raw fist at all. If chakra cannot enter the body, it is useless. Thinking of this, the two Akumi smiled coldly and suddenly exerted their strength, trying to break away from Hinata Hikari's pressure. Quack, be honest. However, the next moment, what greeted the two Akumi was the sudden attack of that red shadow. Killing intent wave rock strike. A crimson shadow came out of the body, like a dream. At close range, the two Akumi finally saw the thing clearly. To be precise, it is a red humanoid that looks exactly like Hinata Hikari. It's Hikari's crimson clone. Boom. The crimson clone punched the struggling Akumi into the ground again. The two Akumi groaned and sank more than 20 centimeters below the ground. She couldn't believe it. Compared to the previous fist, this attack was heavier. That is, this weird clone is not only an entity, but its power is even greater than the original body. Did the attack just now make her feel a little pain? The defensive power of the tailed beast clothes is indeed very strong. So strong that it requires a certain level of attack to penetrate. For example, the A-level Chidori. Hinata Hikari's Arhat fist, even with the buff of killing intent, is only C-level. Therefore, she cannot penetrate the tailed beast clothes of the two Akumi. But so what? Although the tailed beast clothes can resist attacks, they are not immune to impact. Now the two Akumi are like stuffed cans wearing full body armor. Although he ignored the sword and slashed it, if it was hit hard by a heavy hammer, even if the armor absorbed the lethality, the shock and impact would be enough to make the person inside unconscious. Just like in the original 5-cage meeting, when Uchiha Sasuke used Susanoo, he was still beaten to the point of vomiting blood by the fourth Raikage. Hey, the defense is pretty tough. Hinata looked at it and made a new decision in her heart. So, next. Hinata's main body and Crimson Clone raised their fists at the same time. Killing intent wave rock strike, X2. Double the rock hits, double the fun. Boom. With a terrifying roar, the two Akumi figures were completely embedded into the earth. Wow. The two Akumi's eyes suddenly widened and they spat out a mouthful of blood. Her body even curved into a shrimp-like shape. Hateful. The two Akumi raised their heads with difficulty, wanting to resist. Even Hinata had to admire her tenacity. And at this moment, Hinata also felt a little tired. From the previous battle and the released ninjutsu, her physical strength and chakra were about the same. So, how should we defeat the two Akumi in this state? Hinata thought for a moment. Got it? Before the two Akumi could resist again, a small white hand pressed on their foreheads. Star Sucker. Suddenly, the two Akumi felt a pulling force on their foreheads. The next moment, the body's chakra began to decrease sharply. This kind of thing has never been seen before. The two Akumi's eyes suddenly opened wide, but as soon as she spoke, the chakra flowed faster and began to flow out in large amounts. Generally speaking, neither the meat nor the chakra of tailed beasts can be tolerated by ordinary people. But, Hinata thought, since the two Akumi can use the chakra of the second tail, why can't she? As the saying goes, mentally ill people have broad ideas. After thinking for a moment and taking a second to make a decision, Hinata made a very bold move. After all, it was because of the Jinchuriki seal that the leaked chakra was purified by the seal. Or is it because the chakra in the tailed beast suit will not be poisonous to the human body? These are unknown. Hinata Hikaru only felt that the chakra that was originally consumed was replenished, strengthened, and even a little stronger than before. My tired body was even more energetic, as if I had just had a nap. The chakra inside the meridians in the body flows like a spring, filling every part of the body. This feeling is indescribably good. Chakra absorption technique, this C-level ninjutsu traded with Orochimaru, actually came in handy at this moment. The two Akumi were frightened and wanted to struggle. But the more she struggled, the faster the chakra in her body drained away. Her mood gradually changed from anger, to panic, and finally to fear. Until the tailed beast clothes swayed and suddenly spread into the air, like disappearing sparks. Boom. Hinata Hikaru let go of her right hand, and the two Akumi collapsed and landed on their heads. The whole person was lying there, motionless. This scene shocked everyone. They had no idea what had just happened. All I saw was Hinata pinching Akumi's forehead. In just over 10 seconds, Akumi, who had taken off his tailed beast clothes, lay down directly. What the hell? Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 120. Everyone stared blankly at the scene in front of them, even forgetting to breathe. It wasn't until the refreshed Hinata stretched out that everyone seemed to wake up from a dream. Win. Hinata Hikari wins. It's us Konoha who win. The cheers rose and fell, and everyone looked excited. Union Village's attempt to cause trouble failed in the end. He. Orochimaru smiled, his eyes twinkling. Just now Hinata Hikari used the sea-level ninjutsu he gave him, the chakra absorption technique. It's just that Orochimaru didn't expect that Hinata Hikari would dare to absorb the tailed beast chakra of the Jinchuriki. Is it the special physique created by the blood inheritance limit, or is it a stupid blessing for stupid people? Orochimaru's interest in Hinata Hikaru took another step. Perhaps, accepting her as a disciple is also a good choice. If we say that at the beginning, Orochimaru had to accept Hikari as his disciple just because of some factors in the extra-world environment. Well, now the tables are turned. He really felt that having such a disciple might be a very interesting thing. Is there any point in living? Pointless. But you can wait for interesting things to happen in your life. This is Orochimaru's attitude towards survival. What that kid Xiaoguang just used must be a very rare chakra absorption ninjutsu. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and said. With his eyesight as a ninja professor, he was naturally able to tell what had just happened in an instant. It's somewhat similar to the ninjutsu of the Yamashiro clan. In the original work, Yamashiro Aoba used a similar ninjutsu to absorb Kisame's chakra. Shimura Danzo said nothing, but narrowed his eyes, and a cold light flashed through them. I lost. The two Akumi simply admitted this fact. She was so weak now that she didn't even want to move her fingers. Hinata's light had absorbed all the chakra in her body, and now even her consciousness was a little groggy. People in Union Village are generally aggressive. But that doesn't mean you can't afford to lose. After being defeated by Hinata Hikaru, the two Akumi only felt calm in their hearts. It is true that there are people beyond people, and there is a sky beyond the sky. Perhaps the Sandaime Raikage-sama had anticipated this and allowed himself to come. Not. Even the Sandaime Raikage would never have imagined that a Hyuga Hikari would pop out of Konoha and beat his pupils to pieces. Gaga, don't be discouraged, you still have a lot of room for improvement. Hinata put her hands behind her back and said nervously. Yes, I can still become stronger. The eyes of the two Akumi twinkled. The confident eyes returned. She can only use the tailed beast clothes now, but an incomplete version of the tailed beast clothes. If you can continue to practice, you might be able to control one tail, or even two tails. One day, he might be able to completely transform into a tailed beast. The ninja leader of Hidden Cloud Village waved his hand and signaled the accompanying medical ninja to help the two Akumi back. His face was as black as the bottom of a pot. But no matter what, if you lose, you lose. I didn't expect that the Hyuga clan's divisions would be so powerful. Then the members of the clan must be stronger. The ninja leader glanced around, and saw that all the Hyuga clan members who were touched by his gaze turned their heads in embarrassment, or even coughed. Quack, of course. Hinata responded generously. This leader is even called the shame of the Hyuga clan among the Hyuga clan. The ninja leader of Union Village was suddenly stunned. After a while, he came back to his senses, and there was a trace of anger on his face. Humph. Hinata Hikaru, if you win, you win. We admit that our skills are inferior to others, but don't you think it is too humiliating for others to say such things? Others also started whispering, feeling that Hinata was deliberately mocking them. She didn't lie to you. Ri Xiangxiao took a step forward. In our clan, Hikaru Hyuga is indeed called the shame of the Hyuga clan. Ri Xiangxiao spoke with great force, but everyone could hear the sarcasm on his face and tone. The Hyuga clan members in the crowd behind him lowered their heads in shame. The daylight shines so brightly. Not only did he defeat the ninjas of other countries, but he also saved Konoha's face. And they actually shamelessly called Hinata Hikari the shame of the Hyuga clan. The ninja leader of Union Village, including the others behind him, were all stunned. For a long time, a hint of sarcasm appeared on his face. This sarcasm was obviously aimed at the Hyuga clan. In our cloud-hidden village, fists are the last word. If you don't accept it, just have a fight. Only the winner will have the status and right to speak, not some innate identity. If you are strong enough, even the raikage position will be yours. You can get it. There was pride in his tone. We also know more or less about the disputes between the Hyuga clan's clan and branch clans. The ninja leader of Cloud Hidden Village looked at Hinata Hikaru with stern eyes. Hikari Hinata, if one day you can no longer survive in the Hyuga clan, you can come to our Kyumigakuer. Our Kyumigakuer village welcomes you with both hands. After the ninja leader of Kyumigakuer village finished speaking, he raised his hand towards the Sandaime Hokage. Let's go. Then he took the people away and prepared to return to Union Village. But when they left, the people in Union Village were not only not depressed, but instead were full of energy. On the contrary, these words made the faces of the Hyuga clan members present feel hot, and their psychology was even worse. Although he obviously won, he felt very uncomfortable. But Union Village lost, but felt very satisfied. This battle is not just a contest of strength. There is also a collision of ideas. The ninja leader of Cloud Hidden Village was hinting to everyone in Konoha. In Konoha, Hinata Hikari can only be a lowly branch family member. But if she is strong enough in Hidden Cloud Village, she can even become raikage. In this battle of ideas, there is no doubt that the winner is Union Village. Even if a good strategy fails, you will never forget to sow discord. Mito Minion adjusted his glasses, looked at the retreating figures of everyone in Kyumigakuer village, and said coldly. In Mito Kaiden's view, those words just now were undoubtedly trying to drive a wedge between Hinata Hikari and the Hyuga clan, and even her relationship with Konoha. Hyuga-san. Namikaze Minato looked at Hinata Xiao, who had neither sadness nor joy on her face, but she remained silent. I'm afraid the words the other party just said had some impact on him. Hikaru Hinata. At this time, Shimura Danzo suddenly turned around and looked at Hinata Hikari. The old man is Danzo Shimura. He is the student of the second generation Hokage Senju Tobirama. He is also one of the 4 top leaders of Konoha, the Hokage's assistant, and the Umbu commander. Shimura Danzo spoke about his name, origin, and position. This is considered a formal self-introduction. You performed very well just now and protected the village's reputation. As a reward, you will be allowed to join the Umbu. What do you think? Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 121. Shimura Danzo, the disciple of the oldest Pot King Senju Tobirama in history. The second generation Pot King of Naruto. His ability to get things done is also top-notch. This man is ruthless and will do anything to achieve his goal. Hinata Hikaru didn't believe that he had any good intentions. Therefore, Hinata suddenly assumed a very strange posture. Oh yes, Hinata Hikaru often behaves like this weirdly. Everyone remembers what this is called JoJo. But the leader refused. Hinata announced loudly. At this moment, the whole place was silent. A dull expression appeared on everyone's face. My favorite thing is to say no to those self-righteous guys. Actually. Refused. Countless eyes stared at Hinata. She actually rejected the senior management's proposal. You know, being able to join UMBU at a very young age is a great privilege. Throughout the ages, there have been many talented children in Konoha, but few have achieved this qualification. The youngest child will only be assigned to the UMBU after graduating from the ninja school. Hinata Hikaru was invited as a ninja school student. This was probably the first person in Konoha's history. After Hinata Hikaru defeated the second-tailed Jinhyuriki of Kyomagakure village, saved Konoha's face, and showed amazing strength and talent, everyone knew in their hearts that Hinata Hikaru must have won the favor of Konoha's top brass. However, apparently they underestimated Hinata's spiritual side. She actually refused such an honor. Everyone looked at her with disbelief. Even if you have mental problems, you still have to look at the situation. Next moment, I saw Hinata Hikaru smile, extremely honest and honest. You are such a bad old man, I will not join you, I will not join you. Hinata Hikaru waved his little hand, indicating that he was thinking shit. Others don't know Danzo Shimura's virtues, but she knows it very well. This bad old man must have no good intentions. Danzo Shimura's face suddenly darkened. However, he did not have an attack on the spot, and even the calmness of his tone did not change. After joining UMBU, there are many benefits. Not only can you learn a lot of ninjutsu, taijutsu, and illusions, but you can also hone your strength. Shimura Danzo is ready to prescribe the right medicine. His forbearance, or shamelessness, impressed Hinata Hikaru. After Shimura Danzo said a lot of benefits, Hinata Hikaru shook his little head. My leader is doing well as he is now. There is no need to encourage the situation. Hinata Hikaru has his own path, Danzo Shimura is the elder. Because of rumors, no one realized how good Hinata Hikaru was. After going to bed, Koharu and Mito Kodoran frowned, wanting to step forward and join the group in beating Hinata Hikaru. However, he was stopped by a hand. It's the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. This shinobu hero had a solemn expression on his face, as if he wanted to see things continue to develop. He also had his own considerations, so he didn't speak. Well, now that the matter is over, I am tired, so I have to go back and rest first. You can do it yourself. Hinata waved his hand and was about to leave. However, Danzo Shimura took the lead and blocked Hinata Hikaru. There's something else, Hinata said lightly. Joining UMBU requires strict selection of candidates, Hikaru Hinata. If you dare not join UMBU, can I think that there is something evil in your heart? You are not loyal. Oh no, your will without fire. The reversal of the situation was beyond everyone's expectations. Shimura Danzo actually slapped Hinata Hikaru on the spot. There is a ghost inside. Hinata looked Shimura Danzo up and down. Gaga, I don't know if you have heard of a saying. Oh, what a common saying. Shimura Danzo's tone was still calm. If you don't do anything bad, you're afraid of ghosts knocking on your door. Everyone. And some people, after doing a lot of bad things, sleep so soundly that they don't even blink when surrounded by ghosts. Hinata Hikaru was hinting at Shimura Danzo's shamelessness. These words made Danzo Shimura narrow his eyes. You seem to be very prejudiced against old people. Gaga, you are the one who has the prejudice. I am just a primary school student, but you target me everywhere. I would like to ask you where I offended you. It should be said that Shimura Danzo is so thick-skinned that even S-level ninjutsu cannot break it. Even after Hinata Hikaru said this, Shimura Danzo's expression did not change at all. He was just very calm and continued unhurriedly in that annoying tone. Since you are so old, let's open the skylight and speak frankly. Danzo Shimura paused, as if giving everyone time to react. Hyaga Hikaru, where did you learn all your skills? As soon as the statement came out, the audience was in an uproar. In fact, it's not just Danzo Shimura. Including Sarutobi Hiruzen and others, even Jiraiya and the others, as well as the teachers and students of the ninja school, and even Hinata Xiao. Everyone has this question. Hinata's strength has grown by leaps and bounds in the past 6 months. From a little mental illness that everyone looked down upon, he turned into a little mental illness that everyone marveled at. Her various physical skills and ninjutsu are endless. In terms of the richness of moves, I'm afraid even ordinary Chuyunin can't compare with it. The Hyuga clan concentrates on Ro Fist and does not take into account other skills. Danzo Shimura leaned on his cane and began to pace. The ninja school will only teach the most basic 3 body techniques. Shimura Danzo turned around and looked at Hinata Hikari. So where did you acquire your skills? One eye was exposed on the cheek wrapped in a bandage, and the left eye was half closed, revealing a cold light. Shimura Danzo's questioning caused whispers at the scene to continue. This is not only a question for him, but also a question for everyone. It's so weird. How could a child who was only 8.5 years old master so many skills at once? Danzo, that's enough, Xiaoguang is just a child. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't stand it anymore, so he spoke coldly. However, Shimura Danzo simply ignored him. I guess that Hinata Hikari is probably a spy planted in Konoha by Kumagakure village. As soon as he finished speaking, all the surrounding voices disappeared. The air suddenly became colder, and the temperature seemed to have dropped a few points. Hinata Hikari, I suspect that you are a craftsman from Union village. Danzo Shimura's eyes and the expression on his face that looked like old tree bark spoke like this. Everyone felt a chill. This sentence is saying, Hinata Hikari is a traitor to Konoha. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 122. What the ninjas of Cloud Hidden Village just said was intended to split the Hyuga clan branch and the clan. Because you were dissatisfied with the clan, they bribed you to use various ninjutsu and taijutsu in exchange, and you were responsible for the internal carry-out destruction and wait until you become a genin, then rebel, leave Konoha and go to Kumagakure village. Shimura Danzo spoke in one go and finished it in one go. What he said was so clear and logical that it made people gasp. Everyone present felt the seriousness of the situation. If Hinata Hikari is determined to be disloyal, a very terrible end awaits her. Danzo-sama, how could Hinata Hikaru do such a thing? She clearly defeated Kumagakure and saved face for the village. Dozawa stood up, protected Hinata Hikaru, and argued eagerly. Hinata Hikaru is his student, and as a class teacher, he has to say something. Danzo Shimura smiled coldly. Maybe he was just acting for us. If he turns around, Hinata will betray the village directly. You are just making this up out of thin air. Xiangxiao suddenly moved and stood out from the crowd. After spending half a year with Hikaru Hinata, although he did not learn all the secrets of Hikaru Hinata, he believed that Hikaru Hinata would never be that kind of person. My child, you are too naive. Danzo Shimura looked at Hinata Xiao. You are born to be a noble clan member, and how could you possibly understand Hinata's hatred for the clan after she was separated from the clan? What Shimura Danzo said was so true that even Hinata Xiao couldn't help but be stunned. This sentence is undoubtedly talking about children. Don't stand and talk without back pain. You, a member of the clan, can't do anything to cool off or stay alone. Xiangxiao opened her mouth, but in the end she couldn't say anything. He really couldn't put himself in Hinata's perspective. The ninjas of Kumagakure took advantage of Hinata Hikari's hatred and hit it off with him, thus trying to destroy Konoha from within. Danzo Shimura continued. Of course, I also hope that Hikaru Hinata is innocent, so I am going to take Hikaru back and question her carefully. Shimura Danzo concluded coldly. The whole place was dead silent. For a long time, there was no sound in the audience. Until the sound of slight footsteps. Namikaze Minato walked out of the crowd. Master Danzo. Namikaze Minato chuckled. To be honest, many of Hinata Hikaru-sama's ninjutsu and taijutsu were taught to her by me. Minato Namikaze had a gentle expression and his voice was like a spring breeze. It's obviously autumn, but it makes people feel as warm as spring. His voice seemed to have magic power, attracting everyone's attention. Shimura Danzo narrowed his eyes and looked at Namikaze Minato, who suddenly popped out. He didn't block Hinata's light like Dozawa did. Nor did he stand behind Hinata Hikari like Hinata Xiao did. But alongside her. This action seems to be emphasizing something. Of course, it may also be an illusion. The wind blew, bringing some coolness and blades of grass. No one would have thought that Namikaze Minato would actually say such a thing. Hinata's ability is related to Namikaze Minato. This. What did you just say? Danzo Shimura narrowed his eyes. Danzo-sama, I mean most of Hikari-san's taijutsu and ninjutsu were taught to her by me. Namikaze Minato smiled, gently but firmly. Then, Namikaze Minato seemed to fall into a trace of memories. I used this jutsu to bind the bird and demonstrated it to Hikari-san. This jutsu, combined with the Byakugan, can perfectly break the Uchiha clan's shuriken throws. The whirlwind of Konoha is because the Hyuga clan is only good at the upper plate. Hinata Hikari-san needs to strengthen his leg skills. The reason for the fire escape technique is. Namikaze Minato glanced at the Uchiha clan present. Everyone suddenly realized. Hinata Hikaru once used the powerful fire technique to fight against the powerful fireballs of the Uchiha clan many times. It is self-evident why this ninjutsu is taught. Namikaze Minato told everything. Only then did everyone realize how hard Minato Namikaze had worked secretly to prevent Hinata Hikaru from being bullied. But only Hinata Hikaru knew that there was more to it than that. Her crystal-clear eyes gradually lit up and seemed to be shining. If there were worries and doubts before, all worries are gone now. Ga, Minato Namikaze, you have been hiding this from me for a long time. Hinata Hikari said something that no one could understand. The grievances and sadness in my heart also disappeared at this moment. That was a world that only she and Namikaze Minato knew. Namikaze Minato looked at him and smiled apologetically. I'm sorry, Hinata Hikari-san, I wanted to give you a surprise. At this moment, the two of them stood in the wind. Their smiles are pure, bright, full of happiness, like a beautiful picture scroll. Then Namikaze Minato, how do you explain the chakra absorption technique used by Hinata Hikaru on the two-tailed Jinchuriki of Kyomagakure village? Danzo Shimura asked unwillingly. Lord Arara Danzo, I did this. Orochimaru spread his hands and smiled. His highly recognizable hoarse voice sounded like this. The chakra absorption technique was a deal he made with Hinata Hikari. What the hell are you doing? Shimura Danzo's eyes were full of condemnation. But he also thought that he couldn't help but give up what he had told Orochimaru before. What about her water escape? Shimura Danzo seemed to be unwilling. Of course it is the precious legacy of the second Hokage-sama, Namikaze Minato said without blinking. Konoha fluid technique, Konoha style swordsmanship, Konoha style XXX, including water release, and various forbidden techniques are naturally from the hands of the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama. Decades ago, Senju Tobirama dispersed various schools in Konoha, so it is normal for Hinata to have the opportunity to learn them. How do you explain Arhat Fist? Shimura Danzo went head-to-head with Namikaze Minato, but this was his last effort. The Arhat Fist was not invented by the second Hokage Senju Tobirama. I got this physical skill from the Temple of Fire back then. Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice suddenly sounded. Although he did not continue speaking, the meaning was already very clear. Shimura Danzo certainly knew that Arhat Fist could not have been given to Hinata Hikari by Sarutobi Hiruzen. His old classmate is protecting Hinata Hikari. It seems that he is too old and abrupt. When Shimura Danzo saw this scene, he knew that his plan to take away Hinata Hikari would not succeed. At this point, he stopped talking and left with his cane. However, there will be opportunities in the future. That strange blood inheritance limit, I will definitely take it into my hands. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 123. It was an afternoon. Just like countless peaceful afternoons, Namikaze Minato woke up from his sleep. He held a book in his hand, a very familiar book. Namikaze Minato's usual hobby is reading. He will quietly enjoy reading when he has no tasks or is free. Namikaze Minato put down his book, stood up and looked around. It's still the familiar residence, the place called home. But there are many things different. The first is the decoration, and the second is the photo frames that you see on the table every day. A group photo of his team, taken since the Genin graduation period. There is him, Jiraiya-sensei, the teammate who always talks about justice, and Hinata Hikari-san. A team of 4. He touched his forehead subconsciously, but it was empty, and the ninja forehead protector was gone. Namikaze Minato caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror. At this moment, Namikaze Minato's breathing froze. Is it an illusion? Still. The extremely intelligent Namikaze Minato immediately thought about all this calmly and tried to remove the illusion. When he used the most primitive pain relief method to slit his fingers, Namikaze Minato discovered that all this was not an illusion. For unknown reasons, he went back to when he was 6 years old. Countless memories travel through my mind, which are the past with my former teammates. But Namikaze Minato had never heard of being able to live his life over again. If everything in front of me is real, then are the existences in my memory just a real spring and autumn dream of my own that can no longer be real? Namikaze Minato's thoughts fell silent for a moment. He opened the door, and the slightly dazzling sunlight shone in from the outside. Namikaze Minato squinted his eyes and slowly adjusted to the light. He stood on the street, watching the people coming and going. Namikaze Minato started running quickly. He wanted to confirm a few things first. It didn't take long for Namikaze Minato to feel out of breath. The body has completely lost the sensitivity in memory. No, it should be said that it is fully in line with the physical fitness of a 6-year-old child. At this time, I had not yet practiced with Master Jiraiya, so it was understandable that I was weak. Try to introduce the chakra skills in memory to refine the chakra in the body and let the chakra activate the body. Then, Namikaze Minato's speed suddenly increased. After arriving at the bookstore I visited most often in my memory, I met the bookstore owner with the Mediterranean Sea above his head. "Boss, bring me a newspaper." Namikaze Minato paid the money, looked at the date, and then slowly put it down. This is indeed not the era in memory. The Second Ninja War hadn't even started yet. Everything is still in the peaceful period 20 years after the First Ninja War. Namikaze Minato felt confused. What is going on? Namikaze Minato was not the type to wallow in depression. He quickly cheered up and used the information in his mind to compare the difference between the current situation and his memory. After some time passed, Namikaze Minato was able to make a complete judgment. This is indeed the time when I was 6 years old. Just like what is described in countless street stall ninjas. Am I reborn? Namikaze Minato looked at his hands and accepted this fact. In this case, Namikaze Minato subconsciously thought that he could get his former teammates back. The Justice teammate is currently at the border of the Fire Country and cannot find him. Namikaze Minato took action immediately and went to the Hyuga clan's mansion first. The Hyuga clan's mansion is located in a slightly remote location, in the quiet and remote suburbs of Konoha. Namikaze Minato climbed up the high wall of the Hyuga clan's mansion almost effortlessly. He leaned against the wall and looked inside. Later, I felt it was too conspicuous. So, Namikaze Minato retreated to the trunk of a big tree further away. He touched his arms and took out the prepared telescope. Ninjutsu escape. Turetsu is a ninjutsu invented by Jireya's teacher. When casting a spell, a prop telescope is required. It can penetrate obstacles such as wooden walls and even stone walls. As for its specific function, it can penetrate. Bo Feng Shui Men said, "You understand." Namikaze Minato squatted on a tree and looked inside with the telescope. Soon, I found the familiar courtyard. The courtyard where the sun shines. But to Namikaze Minato's regret, Hinata Hikaru was not there. In the next few days, Namikaze Minato continued to observe, but without exception, Hinata Hikaru was not found. This made him feel a little anxious. Could it be said that this is a world without Hinata Hikari-san? According to the descriptions of the authors in Street Stall Ninja, sometimes the plot of Rebirth may not be the same as before. Some people or things may even disappear and never appear again. In order to confirm the existence of Hinata, Minato Namikaze made a bold decision. He used the transformation technique and turned into the appearance of Hinata Hikari. Then, he stood in front of the Hyuga clan's mansion. "This leader is back, you scum. In order to be able to imitate it very closely, Namikaze Minato practiced specially in front of the mirror, and then started to act. A gust of wind blew by, but there was no response from the Hyuga clan's mansion. Just when Namikaze Minato was about to leave in disappointment, a group of people shouted and rushed out from inside. They looked at themselves in disbelief, and then someone raised their hand and pointed. "This is incredible. Hinata Hikaru escaped from the mental hospital." Then, it was time for Namikaze Minato's great escape. He ran and laughed. Although he was chased by a group of people who threatened to send him back to a mental hospital, Namikaze Minato was very happy. Because he knows. Although the plot is slightly different, at the end of the day, this is a world where Hikari-san lives. Of course, out of professionalism and upholding the perfect qualities of an excellent ninja. Namikaze Minato, who was maintaining his transformation technique, did not forget to turn around and raise the international hand gesture. Middle finger. "Quack, scumbags, your horse is gone." In the days that followed, Namikaze Minato's life took a different path. He worshipped Jireya as his teacher and practiced the way of ninja diligently. Then during the rest of the time, he would secretly walk into the mental hospital, which is an affiliated hospital of Konoha Hospital, to visit Hinata Hikaru. Although at this time, Hinata Hikari-san was so crazy that he was completely unable to have a normal conversation. But Minato Namikaze was looking forward to it. Looking forward to the return of Hinata Hikari-san, the strange girl in his memory. 1 year later, Hinata Hikari is discharged from the hospital. It is said that the condition improved after treatment. The members of the Hyuga clan welcomed this clansman again. However, due to Hinata's mental problems, his behavior is still very different from ordinary people. So, at the end of the year, she earned a title. The shame of the Hyuga clan. Another year passed. Namikaze Minato is 8 years old. This day is the entrance day to the ninja school. Namikaze Minato passed the entrance test easily. After that, he left the crowd and waited for the figure. Until everyone dispersed and only Hinata Hikaru was left. The pretty girl, about 8 years old, with fair skin and white eyes, seemed to have woken up from a nightmare. She looked around blankly, not knowing what she was thinking of, and her face suddenly changed drastically. "Isn't this the body of my sect leader when he was 8 years old?" Why is the sect leader here? Isn't this sect leader going through a catastrophe? Could it be? Is this leader back? There was an incredible look in Hinata's eyes. On the tree trunk nearby, Namikaze Minato smiled, and his murmur turned into 1,000 winds. Welcome back Hikari-san. Namikaze Minato Extra Chapter, finished.